we ready? It's bad hair today, but...
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I was out working in my garden today, and I was like, I need to do something to make it so
fun.
Give me some volume. That looks
fun.
cute.
Well, it's cute. I should have done the same thing, and then we could have been twins.
That would have been fun.
I am sitting here today with Lauren Culberson, who is a distributor for Young Living, and she is highly educated in the essential oil department. I wanted her to share some of her knowledge with you today because this is a great thing to have in your routine, and you'll get to find out why if this is new to you in just a few minutes. So first of all, I want to thank you for coming over and sharing this information with us. She has, well, you know what, instead of me telling your story, I'm going to let you.
Okay, sounds good. I personally have used oils in my home for about the last almost 3 years now. Wow, I just processed that I'm coming up on 3 years now.
Your anniversary.
But I have grown up with oils, being familiar with oils. My mom used them when I was growing up, and when I was in college and studying, she'd come and like sneak lavender and diffuser in my dorm room or peppermint to help me focus. I wasn't really big into it then, but then here in the last 3 years, I have really started using them in our home and noticing a big difference in our health, in our focus, in our skin, all of it. So I have loved using oils and integrating them into our lives, and me starting oils has almost opened up the whole world of living a healthier life just from getting into oils.
Good. Sometimes it just takes one thing to kind of spur it on.
Yes, it does.
So I had asked her, because there's a lot of oils and I can understand the love of many, but just for time's sake, I had asked her to bring over her top 5 and go through those. And so I'm just going to have you start wherever you want.
Alrighty. So I'll start with lavender, because it was my gateway oil. I was using lavender in my home when my first daughter was born. She was a very colicky baby, and so we were at the point of just trying anything. And so my mom got us a diffuser and gave us some lavender oil, and I was like, sure, I'll try anything. Put it in the diffuser while she was sleeping, and I did actually notice a difference with how she was resting, how she was sleeping, and when I ran out of lavender, we were back to it being really bad. So through my search to buy myself more lavender, I fell in love with all oils. But
you started seeing results,
yes,
which built belief.
Yes, absolutely. And so lavender is great, obviously, for sleep. It's also amazing for your skin. I put it on any boo-boo that my children get, like burns, insect bites, scrapes, anything. It's really great for helping your body heal and helping reduce that inflammation that comes with initial ouchies, like we call them. And then also, lavender is great for seasonal allergies. I put it, lemon, and peppermint in my diffuser during the springtime every single day, and my husband, who suffers quite horribly from seasonal allergies, as long as I'm on top of this, he's barely notices them. Wow. Which has been amazing, because that was whenever he was a skeptic, I would sneak it in the diffuser every day and not tell him. And then a few weeks into spring, I was like, so how have your allergies been? He was like,
that is good,
you know, they haven't hit yet. I was like, so
I have the cure.
Lavender is amazing for just about anything you can think of. They call it the Swiss Army knife of oils. It's one that's in my diaper bag, in my purse. I use it for anything and everything. And then another one that I tend to always have on me is Peace and Calming. This is one of the more like emotional oils that they make. It smells so good. It's one that's pre-blended, so there are more than one essential oil in here, whereas lavender, that's pure lavender in there. Peace and Calming has a few different oils that they have blended together to give you the desired effect of peace and calming. They call this the tantrum tamer, and that is so true. Actually, a few weeks ago, we were celebrating Christmas, and my oldest was having a horrible meltdown, and I just like lathered it on her. I was like hugging her, I was like on her face, on her, I was everywhere. And I left her alone for just a few minutes. I came back in and she was just sitting there.
Wow.
Like, you good now? She's like, yeah, I think so. It was really amazing because I hadn't honestly had the opportunity to like mid-tantrum put it on a child yet. And so that was one of my first times like really putting that to the test, and it worked beautifully. I love to diffuse this also for sleep. But it's just, I love the smell so much. It's wonderful.
So a couple of things. First of all, I put it in with my Epsom salt. So then when I put the Epsom salt in the bath, it's good to go. And so not only am I relaxing in the tub, but when I get out, my whole bathroom, my whole room
smells like it.
Amazing. To me, it's like an amazing perfume.
So next is frankincense. These, well, they're all my top 5. So these are all ones that I can't go without. But I really have to always have frankincense in my house. This is another one, like lavender, is amazing for your skin, scarring, redness. It's great for healing those and helping your skin look a little bit more radiant. It's also really great for inflammation. Like my Nana rolls it straight onto her joints on her hands for arthritis pain or any soreness that she has, and she said it works amazing. It's also a really great one for emotional support. I use it for anxiety. I'll like take a little bit or rub it under my tongue. It does taste like you're putting an essential oil. Yeah, it's not a great taste, but it feels like I'm like melting almost as it absorbs. It works so great, so fast. So anytime I'm feeling like high anxiety, I'll just do that. And the other night I actually did it to my husband too. I was like, listen, just do it, because he was feeling a little stressed. He also didn't like the taste, but it works so good. And it's also really great for your immune system. So I like roll it on spines too, and it helps support a stronger immune system.
So just so you know, when you put something on your body, it actually is absorbed within 26 seconds. So that's why you want to be very careful what it is that you are putting on your body, and also why this can be so effective. As she said, just rolling it on the back. And you said actually you're rolling it on the spine. And I'm sure there's a reason.
Yes, so there are the different VitaFlex points, which I personally want to learn way more about. I know the very basic surface level information on it, like your spine, the bottoms of your feet, your wrist. Those are different areas where things absorb best into your blood system, into your body, like your wrist and behind your ear are areas where your skin is really thin, so it absorbs quicker. And then along the spine has different benefits for how it absorbs and how your body puts it to work.
Okay. So Dr. Axe with Ancient Nutrition, he has a whole series. He actually does a class now with in-depth learning education on the essential oils, and he was all of that just to say the back of the neck is a really great absorber as well. But with the frankincense, do you need a carrier oil?
So I personally don't use a carrier oil. It's a very gentle oil. It's not what we would call a hot oil, whereas it would like feel like it burns your skin. With all of these, even if they are gentle oils, even like lavender, I would always say if it's your first time using it, use a carrier oil and do like a patch test. And so just do a little bit like on your wrist and make sure your skin doesn't react to it. On kids, they do recommend you use a carrier oil. I sometimes just put it on them, but if I have a roller bottle with it, then I'll put that on. For me, I haven't really reacted to it ever, but first time I would always recommend doing a little bit.
So the Peace and Calming, I purchased the one that is for the kids called
Kid Power.
Kid Power. So does that already have a carrier oil?
It does. It has a little bit in there.
So that's why it's kid based. Okay. So, and that one smells really good too.
What's a carrier oil?
That's a good point.
So a carrier oil, my favorite carrier oil is fractionated coconut oil, but it's any other oil based. If you were to put these in water, they would not mix, they would just separate. So it needs to be an oil based, like coconut oil, jojoba oil. Some people I think use grapeseed oil. There's a bunch of different ones you can use. The two that I primarily use are coconut oil or jojoba oil. Coconut oil is a lot easier to find. I don't really react to it. It's very simple. You can find it in the grocery aisle. Jojoba oil though, I use for anything I'm gonna put on my face, because coconut oil can be very irritating to your skin, like on your face. It can clog your pores. So they don't recommend you putting that on your face. So like my glow serum that I make for myself is jojoba oil.
Okay. And you can get a pretty good size jojoba oil for very inexpensive at Trader Joe's.
I didn't know that.
It's great. And when I had this cough thing, then I would eucalyptus, peppermint oil, jojoba oil. It was great. Great for the respiratory system.
So speaking of hot oils, my next one I brought is oregano. It is one that is considered a hot oil, so it would burn your skin.
Oh my goodness.
This one needs a carrier oil.
Just sniff it.
You need a carrier oil for this one. I use a lot of carrier oil because the hot oils are... So there's only peppermint is a hot oil, and I'll like put it straight on here, and if I turn my head too fast, my eyes burn. But anyway, got distracted. Oregano is kind of a random one, it would seem, but I have to always have this in my house. It is so amazing for your immune system. It's an antibacterial, it's an antiviral. It helps fight off just about anything. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but it is great to help your body fight off germs, bacteria, any sort of infection. It's great to put on, again, boo-boos. It's also really great to put on bug bites to help with like taking out the itch. But it's one that anytime we have sickness hitting our house, I have it pumping in the diffuser. I have it rolling on us with some frankincense. And then also, if I'm out of oregano seasoning, I'll sprinkle some.
That is so cool.
My cooking
I love
too.
that one. And it is spicy. It's spicy.
It is. You gotta be careful with this. Don't go and touch your eye, which, if you do happen to touch your eye after touching a hot oil, do not try to rinse it out with water. That makes it so much worse. You need to take a carrier oil, like coconut oil, and that will pull the oil out rather than the water just pushing it around because they don't mix.
Good to know.
I learned that the hard way. So.
And two things. First of all, Lauren is a nurse, and so to me that just gives her a little bit more credibility because she kind of has both sides of the coin there. But also, if you put oils in the bathtub, I have put them in with coconut oil just because it helps to make my skin soft as well. But if you choose not to, I have had that little reaction where I felt like I was burning for a minute, or like there were little bugs biting me. So I've been told that you can put a little bit in your shampoo and put it under the water. I don't know if that's the best way to disperse it, but some type of carrier oil, or like I said before, Epsom salt. If you go ahead and diffuse your Epsom salt, I have not had a problem that way either.
Yeah, anytime I'm putting oils in my bathtub, I always mix it into Epsom salt first. I haven't heard the shampoo trick.
Hey, excuse you. My dog's over here. So come here. You can come and say hi. You come say, he's really dirty boy. Not social media ready, but we'll let it slide this time. Okay.
I hadn't heard the shampoo trick. I always just...
He has. We've done it.
Okay. I haven't heard of the shampoo tricks. I just usually, if I'm having a reaction, grab a carrier oil. So you don't need much of it because a little goes a long way with coconut oil. So I would just rub it on any area that I'm reacting on.
Okay.
And then the last one is grapefruit. I have an obsession with all the citrus oils. They all smell so amazing. But grapefruit is one that I use a ton, but also has a lot of different purposes for it. Grapefruit, for one, smells amazing in the diffuser. I love to pair it with like a tree oil, like pine or black spruce or something like that. They smell so good together.
So many oils, so little time.
I want them all. I know. But grapefruit also, I know a lot of people who like to put a couple drops in their water. And just when it comes to ingesting oils, you need to make sure you're using really good pure oils that are safe to use. Young Living has a line that has a white label on it, and they have been approved to be ingested. And then also start little and work up, because sometimes they could burn, because this is very concentrated. So like just a drop or two in water will do great. But it also helps with circulation. So I have an oil blend I put on for cellulite, and it has grapefruit in it. And so it helps boost circulation to the areas that you rub it on, which helps get rid of all those cellulite deposits.
I need some of that.
It does work. And the putting it in the water is also really good for like detoxing. People use it.
So how many drops would you say for a glass of water?
I personally would just do like 2.
Okay.
I know some people who do up to like 5 at the most if they like the flavor stronger. I tend to like the flavor of water on its own, so I don't really add a bunch, but I would not go over like 5.
Okay. And I know there have been people that I have heard talk about, like, they are very concerned about ingesting this, and you should be if you don't know what company you are getting it from. But this is tried and true. They have done the education. And so go into a little bit of that as far as, okay, if you're going to use oils to put on your skin or to ingest, you want to make sure that you are getting a quality product. It's just like the food that we eat. You want a quality product. And so I would like for you to give them up. This is not a push for Young Living. It is a good option though. And so I just want you to tell some of the things that we need to look for when someone is looking for an oil.
Yes. I know there are several companies that are very good. I personally have just landed on Young Living, and I fully trust Young Living. Oils, especially here lately, are trending as we have in the recent years gotten more focused on health. People are starting to look into stuff like this, and a lot of companies out there are trying to capitalize on it. So like you can find oils at Walmart, Ingles, like I've seen them at the dollar store. Like you can find them everywhere now. There is really no strict regulations on oils, so a lot of things like pure or therapeutic companies can put on without having to prove anything, so you really have to do your own research. Young Living has something that they call the seed to seal promise. So from the seeds that they plant, the dirt that they planted it, they limit pesticides, they are careful with where they put it, like the ground even, make sure it's not really ground that has been treated heavily or anything like that, to how they distill it and how they label it, how they bottle it, how they handle it. They are very careful with every step of the process until it gets in your hands to make sure you are getting good oils and you're getting pure oils, because that's something you really want to watch for. Because a lot of people will say, oh, it's 100% this oil, but there's nothing that they have to do to prove that. So it could have just a tiny bit of actual lavender in it and then chemicals to make it smell like lavender. So you could just be putting more chemicals on your body and doing your body more harm. So for me, whenever I was looking into oils, I would look deep on websites, like if they had a website, because some oils don't even have anything out there where you can read about it. And like Young Living, you can go visit, walk through their farms, tour their farms, watch them make the oils, pick the plants.
They have nothing to hide.
They got nothing to hide. And I love how much care they put in stuff. Like there are certain oils that only women go out and pick the plants, or only certain times a day they pick the plants. They are very careful. They're very thorough, and so that's why I trust them. There
was one thing that you were telling earlier in a prior video about the lavender, and it really brought it home for me.
In the last year, the amount of lavender that has been sold way outnumbers the amount of lavender plants that have been grown. I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head.
It's telling a story about what might be in your bottle.
Yeah. Tells you that a lot of lavenders out there aren't real lavender.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if I'm buying something, whether it's skincare, whether it's essential oils, whether it's food, whatever it is, I want to make sure that it's going to do what I've read it's going to do. And so, you know, let's just say that you've heard that lavender can help reduce fine lines. You know, well, that's important to me. And so then I go and I buy a bottle, and I don't even know that it's only 10% lavender, and I'm not getting the results, and then I'm just going to blame lavender, and it wasn't lavender. It was the fact that I didn't even have enough of that product in that bottle to do what it was supposed to do. So, you know, just like the oregano, you know, if I'm sick, and so oregano can actually heal, just like she said, it can help to heal with fungus, it's antimicrobial, just a plethora of things that it can do. But if in that bottle it isn't 100% oregano, then I might not get the results that I am really wanting. And so that's one reason. Another reason why we want to be super careful about what we are purchasing. And honestly, I don't even want to breathe in something that's not pure. Because it can affect our hormones. And then that's a whole nother problem.
It's a whole nother story.
It's much better to purchase something that's pure, even if it's a little bit more expensive. And then if there's a financial issue, use less. Just use less. Okay, you're going to have to get down now. You're going to have to get down now. Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for sharing this information with us, and I'm going to put her link below. She is on Instagram and Facebook, and you can reach out to her, message her, and she's here for you. You can place your order with her, and any questions that you might have for the oils, obviously you can tell that she knows what she's talking about. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. And let me know what you would like to see next. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.